Oh, God. Ew. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my wisdom tooth surgery experience. Yes, I had to do it. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about my story, how it felt, what it was like going under anesthesia, the recovery, and I have some funny clips to include from waking up as well because I embarrassed myself so horribly on social media. You just gotta wait to find out. Before we get into the story, please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are or aren't subscribed, please give this video a big thumbs up and click the bell for your notifications. And without further ado, let's get started. So, I have had a fear of the dentist for quite a while. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but I just did not like the dentist when I was younger. I just thought, my mouth is my personal space. Please go away. Thank you very much. You know, throughout my years of losing my baby teeth, I actually had an issue of losing them. They wouldn't fall out on their own, so I'd have to get them pulled. I'd say I got a good amount of teeth pulled throughout my life, but I also ate a couple of my teeth on accident. It was bad. We just don't talk about that. And growing up, I knew that wisdom teeth were a thing, and I thought in my head that it was going to be a traumatizing event in my life. I'd rather have kids than do this. Like, no way, Jose. This is not happening. No. Now, when I was 18 last year, in February of 2018, my dentist told me that I should probably go to the oral surgeon because he did an x-ray of my wisdom teeth, and they didn't look good. The bottom two wisdom teeth that I had were crooked, so they were impacted, and the top ones were just super high up. They were just annoying. And I was actually feeling them quite a lot at the time. My bottom, especially the bottom of my jaw, would get pretty sore and just, it would throb a lot. I went to the oral surgeon for an appointment just to see what they could do. Maybe I should get my wisdom teeth out, I guess. I went to the oral surgeon and he was like, yeah, we need to get your wisdom teeth out because they don't look very good. I was like, great. Awesome. 10 out of 10. I love that so much for me. I was told that I had to get put under anesthesia because they were quite bad, and I also requested to be put under because I did not want to deal with being awake during that. This was in February 2018, as I said before, and we ended up scheduling my wisdom teeth surgery for spring break, which was in March of 2018, so it was a little bit over a month. And the moment I got home from that, I researched every single day until my surgery. That's not a good idea. I'm a very anxious person, so I was very nervous, and with my past of getting teeth pulled and everything, I just really did not like the sound of getting my wisdom teeth taken out. At the time, I also had never been put under anesthesia, so I was really nervous about A, how you go down, B, how you stay unconscious, C, how you don't feel a thing. All of that stuff was in my head, and I was constantly nervous about that up until the day of my surgery. So the day of my wisdom teeth surgery, it was snowing. They wanted to cancel it. I was not having it. I was like, you're gonna take these out today, alright? Because I'm not worrying for another day, okay? So we ended up going in an hour later, and I went in. I was shaking in the waiting room while they had that TV playing a bunch of scary cartoon videos, 3D videos, I don't even know. They were scary though, really just disgusting. And then after that, I went up to the room and kind of sat there. It was like a dentist room, except there were like tools, really intense tools next to me that I was not having. I was like, what is this? This is gonna be my mouth? Please help me, someone get me out of here. And the nurses were in and out because they were working on somebody else at the moment, so I was just sitting there with my mom. After a while, a nurse came in, asked me a bunch of questions, how much I weighed, all that stuff, I guess for the anesthesia, and then the oral surgeon finally came in, and that's when they lowered my chair, and I remember bursting into tears because I was so scared. It's funny because the nurse was like, why are you crying? And my mom was like, oh, stop crying, oh. But I couldn't stop crying because my anxiety was going absolutely insane. I was fine with the needle, like I don't even care, like take my arm, put the needle in, I don't care. chair, but I was so incredibly scared of falling under anesthesia. I don't like having no control in my life, so having no control under anesthesia is absolutely why I was nervous. That was really deep. So the oral surgeon was like, okay, we're gonna put the medicine through your IV. And I was like, alright, cool. And he put it in through my arm, and I don't know, I didn't really feel much. I kind of felt a little coldness go up my arm. And then I was still crying, by the way, still sobbing my eyes out. And I started to get a little dizzy. And I remember smelling something, and I tried to say the words, "It smells like flowers." And then I don't remember anything after that. My mom was in the room at the time, and apparently she told me that I was fighting off the anesthesia. I was really just like groaning and my eyes were rolling back apparently. I don't remember that at all. Literally have no recollection. And the next thing I remember was being home, but I have video evidence of everything that happened before that, aka the second I woke up, which is bad. I remember bits and pieces of waking up. I do not remember walking to the recovery room. Apparently they woke me up in the chair that they were doing surgery in, and then they walked me to the recovery room, and then they laid me down. And apparently I was crying so hard that they called it inconsolable and had to go get my mom in the waiting room. And then my mom came up, and that's when the videos started because she had my phone. Ugh. Before my surgery, I actually took the passcode off of my phone purposely so that my mom could get to the camera and record anything that looked funny. But I went a little overboard with that, and I ended up posting on Snapchat so much. Horribly much. Like, disgustingly much. So my mom ended up having to console me for quite a while. I don't know why I was just crying so hard, but apparently according to the oral surgeon, people who go under crying wake up crying, so that kind of explains why I was sobbing. I also wouldn't stop talking, and the nurse tried to get me to stop talking, but I just didn't stop, which actually wasn't good because she told my mom that I would bleed for about 2 hours, and I ended up bleeding for like 4 to 5 hours. I do remember waking up and feeling really weird. And I remember that my tongue felt like a brick inside of my mouth. Like a cinder block was just sitting inside of my mouth. Like, I can't explain it, but it was just not a lovely feeling at all.
It's all good. It's all done. It's from the numbing stuff so you don't feel anything. It'll wear off in a little bit. Shh, stop fighting. Okay.
I want to go home.
Okay. We're going home soon.
What happened?
And your copay for today is $298.68. Right. Okay, by cash, check, or credit card? Credit card. Okay, I'll take the payment.
Why? I got teeth taken out. Yes. I can't feel my tongue. Take it. You take it, right?
What?
You take my tongue.
No, he didn't take your tongue.
Oh. So they sat me up, and then they were like, okay, like, we're gonna walk you downstairs now. And I walked outside of the recovery room to this desk, and then I like stumbled and almost fell over, and I remember the nurse grabbing me. Love that. So she was like, yeah, we're gonna take the elevator. I took the elevator. I remember swaying back and forth and questioning where I was, because I wasn't on Earth. I was somewhere else. I was floating in another galaxy. It was weird. It was really weird. And then I was walked out to my car, and according to my videos, again, I thought I had woken up in the car. I kept remembering things, and then the chunk would disappear. So I woke up in the recovery room, and I was like, oh, I'm waking up. But then I lost that chunk of memory in the car, and then in the car, I was like, oh, I just woke up. But now I don't even remember the car ride at all. I didn't woke up. I'm really confused. My mouth is gone.
No, it's there. It's just numb from the Novocaine. It'll wear off in a little bit. It's gonna wear off.
I don't know what happened. I got blood
I know, it'll go away.
on my feet.
Just a little, it'll go away.
My mom said that I was crying the whole way home. I went home and I laid down in my parents' bed because you always gotta do that when you don't feel well. I don't know why I just did this. So I laid down in my parents' bed. I had all of my like stuffed animals and blankets because I'm literally 4.
Chelsea, no more. No more videos.
And my mom got more gauze ready because I think we were changing it every 30 minutes. I'm not really sure. Again, I don't remember any of it at all. And every time she'd take the gauze out, my jaw just like would not open. It was like, I don't even know, I can't even recreate it. It was so small. I'd go like that's how far I could open my mouth. It just kind of hurt. Like it didn't hurt that bad. It just kind of felt like you should probably not do that. I also ended up having stitches in all 4 of the holes. And yeah, the rest of that day was spent embarrassing myself on social media when recovering from the anesthesia, ending up recovering from the anesthesia, realizing the damage that I did, eating a lot of ice cream and watching a lot of Netflix. And I'd say the next couple of days ended up being the same thing. I was just lounging a lot and I was so tired. I ended up really only eating ice cream and scrambled eggs and hash browns because those were the things that were easiest for me to eat. I also drank a lot, but I didn't use any straws because you're not supposed to, apparently, only after the first day, but I was just super paranoid. I didn't want to use straws at all. But yeah, honestly, the recovery process was not painful. It was like a little bit, but for me, I don't have the best pain tolerance, and I was really scared of the wisdom tooth surgery, so if I can do it, literally anyone can. I ended up taking, I think it was 800 milligram Advil, and I only took that like once a day. I really don't remember. I'm trying to remember, but I do know that I took the 800 milligram Advil and I didn't take the intense drugs that I was prescribed. Also, throughout the couple days that I recovered, I ended up getting a really bad bruise, like right around here, and it developed throughout that week, and it actually stayed for a month, a solid month. But yeah, pretty much everything healed normally. I think I started eating more normal stuff 6 days after I got my wisdom teeth taken out. But still 3 weeks after the surgery, it was really hard to open my mouth like fully. But honestly, if you need to get it done, don't avoid it. It is not bad at all. And yeah, that was my wisdom tooth experience. It ended up being fine. So once again, if you need to get it done, please don't avoid it until it gets worse. Get it done as soon as you can. I think it was a great decision that I made, and I'm really glad that I didn't push it off because of my nerves. If you have any questions about this, please ask me in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Make sure to subscribe again if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Okay, I gotta turn this light off before it literally blinds me. Oh my god. I'm literally blind.